Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy RP35. Today is going to be the day this is going to be a special video for me today. This is the video I've been wanting to do again. Something that I'm going to still treasure the moments of this man. This man has did a lot of stuff for me. He has pretty much helped me out on a lot of stuff in my journey, between his journey, and I feel the same obstacle as him. And so I'm going to talk about everything, what his life and what we used to do together on this special occasion. I've been kind of late of really doing this video because I've been pretty much been busy. My daughter's birthday was today. Had to celebrate her 12th birthday, and it was very special to me on that day. You know, had a cookout, had a blast, and she, ate cake and ice cream, and she had fun and spent time, with the fam and stuff like that. But that was all good, and watched movies and TVs and laugh like that. But that was cool. And then, and I kind of thought about from yesterday, I was like, wait a minute, something else is something special too as well. And that's why I'm here right now at the RP 35 Studios, and we're going to talk about the man, the legend, my cousin, my confidant, Brian Wesley Winton. I want to do another video of this because his birthday was yesterday, and going back to that moment, man, sometimes, to me, it just, how it does when you feel when you just want to pick up the phone and you just want to say, hey man, happy birthday to your cousin, and and just you just talk and have conversations. And like I say, I really miss those conversations that me and him used to have together. And we talk about a lot of stuff, man. We talk about movies that's coming in, or what new games that's coming out, and if he's going to get it or I'm going to get it. It's kind of a thrill out of that. And then and I kind of miss a lot of stuff that we used to do back then, man. And we talk about some of the stuff, we still talk about the old school, a lot of old school stuff we did. And like I say, we still live that old school stuff, pretty much, with Transformers, the 86 version. We used to watch a lot of old school Transformers, and I remember going to his house, and we used to go back and sit there and watch it in his, because we didn't have it on DVD at the time. We pretty much just had it on VHS tape, and I think it was that company called the Family. Let me see, is it the Family Home and something? I think let's see, the Family Home Entertainment. I think that's what it is, the Family Home Entertainment, because it always have the F and the H and the E, like a little crayon looking mark to it, and then it comes on. So I think G.I. Joe had the same thing, Milo the Pony had the same thing. Transformers pretty much had that when that movie came out, because I know there were certain things they took out of that one, because when Spike said, holy shit, and they with that one they took it out. They just, I think they say holy crap, or what, I think it's holy crap, I think is what they did. So then when the DVD came out, they put the shit back in it. But yeah, man, I mean, when we used to do a lot of stuff, man, and I can still remember back in the day, and I still remember when we used to all have WrestleMania parties. I remember it used to be me, Brian, his brother Courtney, my best friend Juan. They was kin to each other, and his son, and we will always go watch every WrestleMania party that we had. If it's at my house, it was his house. Most of the majority of the time, it was always my house, because they didn't care doing it in their house, but it was always at my house, which that was cool. And and the whole goal was back then, because we didn't have the WWE network at that time. It never really came out. They was talking about it, but it never came out. So what they did was everything was getting stuff was always on pay-per-view. So it was always, you had to order, $59.99, almost $60. So the plot was, we used to do was, I was the person who bring out the food, and I will go ahead and get the food. Like if it was like chicken wings or We get ribs, or man, we get all kinds of stuff, man. I bought all kinds of food. And after we did that, we'll get the food, and then him and Courtney, and they will go back and put the money together for the event. So they'll put maybe 40 here, 40 there, and then they just put that so they can put it on my bill, so I can go ahead and just pay it when I pay the bill. And then sometimes we'll get snacks and cakes, and we'll just sit there on the couch and sit there and watch who's our next opponent gonna be, because WrestleMania was the factor back then. That was just one of the bestest times of my life, because we was all wrestling fans. Back in the Attitude Era, that was one of my favorite ones we used to watch, because I remember we will always watch Monday Night Raw, and it was because I think at the time it was just a 2-hour show. They didn't have that 3-hour stuff what they're having now. I don't know what we're watching now, but back in the day, when the Attitude Era came out, man, I mean, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin we used to watch. You had The Rock, you had the Nation of Domination, you had D-Generation X. I mean, the list goes on, and we will go back and start watching these guys, and we will just constantly just have a thrill with it, because the crowd will get excited and everything was all pumped up. And we used to watch a lot of pay-per-view events. Back then we used to watch cable at our house when I first lived on the south side, and we will always go back and watch different pay-per-view events. And then I remember that day when we was at his house, and me and him was sitting there, was chilling, watching. We grew up eating. And I remember that day when Owen Hart passed away, when he fell. And I remember I was there when, we was looking, 'cause we didn't know what was going on at first when we first seen that. And then we was thinking like, oh man, is this for real? And, because the show was halfway still going, they didn't know what was going on. Then that's when Jim Ross, pretty much they're just saying, oh, Hart had passed away from that fall. And we was like, whoa, this is something that, you don't see. So, we continue to watch it as it goes. And then, we just went on with it by and by. Then after that, we just started watching more Raw. We started watching more Raws. And so we just pretty much constantly just keep on going and watching these events. And then and after a while, more pay-per-view events, more WrestleMania we come in to watch. There was times when I was living on the other side, we would go back and look at more stuff, bring more folks in to come and watch pay-per-view events. Man, it was a blast. It was tons of it, man. Then we came to the house, and then it goes back in the day when we played the video games. And I know I talked about this in my other previously videos that I talked about before I started doing different video games and clips and stuff. When again, when he used to show me a lot of stuff playing these fighting games in the fighting community, and then we would go, and he, like I say, Fatal Fury was one of the favorite games that he showed me on the Genesis version. Then the Street Fighter 2 came out on the Super Nintendo version. He showed me more of that one. When Street Fighter 2 Champs Edition came out, was on the Genesis. He pretty much had it, and we played a mess out of it like crazy. And I remember a long time ago when we played Fatal Fury, and I remember I was still at my mother's. I was still at my mother's house at that time. I didn't have my own place, but I was still at my mom's house at the time, and I was a senior, I think. And I remember the Fatal Fury movies came out. Now DVDs never came out yet. And these was the 3 Fatal Fury movies. The first one I bought was the motion picture. That was the movie of the Fatal Fury. And then the other 2 came out was the Mark of the Wolves. I think the Legendary Wolves, something like that. I think that was the first tape with him facing Geese Howard in their story. And then the second one came out where he was facing Wolfgang Krauser. And I remember he used to watch that with me. He was like, man, make a copy of that, and because back in the day we used to have 2 VCRs, together, did whatever, but he will have a copy, and then we used to watch stuff like that, because when we used to go to video stores, like that's what we used to do, man. We used to go to video stores. We didn't do much of like Blockbusters. We did mostly like Hollywood videos, or the silver screen, or different videos we had here in K-Town. You know, like I say, there was a lot more that we used to go, because like I was a guy who watched so many movies, and like I say, and what you kind of see back there now, and plus, you know, plus with the VHS tapes, I couldn't tell you, I have a library full of VHS tapes. Still have a lot of stuff that I had memories that we used to do when we used to watch Raw and stuff like that. But going back to the video stores, he will always go to video stores and get movies, or he'll rent Genesis games or Super Nintendo games, and you know, and then we'll go ahead and start playing it and stuff like that. But it was all good, man. It was cool, you know, to go to that environment, to see that and stuff. And then right after, when the Sega Saturn came out, and I never owned one at the time. Now he bought one brand spanking new. Now I bought mine was in Walmart, and I remember I had two consoles that I had to take back because something wasn't working right or something. I think they had a little battery that was on the back that you had to hook up onto it to keep your memory, and it wouldn't keep my memory and stuff. But when he bought his, and I would go to his house and we'll spend the night and stuff, and he'll have X-Men Children of the Atoms, and that was like the arcade tradition. And he will have that one. He will have like all kinds of games that he used to have. Man, he was the game master. I mean, he had like some games. And the good thing about what he does, he'll start playing these games, especially when Resident Evil came out, and he will pass through so much. I mean, my cousin is smart, man. I mean, he knows by the book. I mean, he's smart and ox. And for me to figure out stuff like that, like playing Resident Evil, and I used to watch him doing it, because Resident Evil back in the day, man, that game was scary back then, man. I mean, like it's still scary to this day. I mean, if you still, you know, get a hand to it. And like I say, that may be another one of my games I might stream. But he will figure it out with a blink of an eye. Like, he'll figure out games that I would never figure out. Just like Castlevania 64. I would never get out of that part. And plus, the one part with the nitrogen and something that you got to put, because if you jump or anything, it's going to explode. And he will know how to mix it. I would never knew how to do all that stuff. And I would sit there and watch him to learn how to mix all that stuff, put all that stuff together. And that was pretty much was one of the adventurous things that he can learn to do, because I would never learn how. I would never can catch on and do all that stuff. There were certain games now to this day that I used to kind of remember what he do. I can't remember, and I'll be thinking like, man, what he used to do, how he used to do it. But man, my cousin was so smart, man. I mean, he didn't need a guide or something he got to look up. He gonna figure it out momentarily, because I guess that's how he would tell me. He would say, you don't need that. You don't need no book. You don't need nothing. I want you to figure it out yourself. Learn the pattern, learn how it goes. And there were certain games that I played once before, and there you go. And I said, hey man, I know how to do it. He'll say, yeah, I told you, you know, you don't need no cheating book, because the cheating book takes the fun out of it, and you don't want that. And there was times when I don't even know if he ever cheated on Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, because that game was hard back in the day. But like I say, he probably figured it out. He mastered it up, and he knew what to do, how to get it, what you need to do. Because back then, Castlevania 2. Now, if you get the reincarnating version, they'll tell the town people will tell you the truth. They'll tell you what's going on and what you need to do. When the game came out on Nintendo, the people from the townspeople didn't tell you nothing right. It was just everything was backwards. They didn't tell you what, like how the silver crystal do, or what does this do. They don't tell you. So you know, that was pretty much was kind of a fluke. But when they redid it, and then now they tell you everything, that was pretty cool. And I remember I went back at it, and I went back and played the reincarnated version, and it showed me, okay, if you use the blue crystal, you duck and you will go down underground. And see, towns didn't do it on the old Nintendo version, which that was cool. And the same thing with Ninja Turtles, the first Ninja Turtles game. To this day, I still cannot beat that game yet, and he beat it with a blink of an eye. And he's just so he's just so damn good at these games that he can master it with no problem at all. And that's how I learned how to play games. And if I can't get into it, I'm gonna keep trying. To learn it, because he showed me how to do it. You don't need to go no cheat codes. You don't need to do all this stuff. Master it, learn it. You'll figure it out sooner or later. You can get into it. And that's how he would show me, how to do certain different things. But me talking about a lot of stuff, like I said, I can go tons and tons to talk about old school, about this man. He had showed me a lot in this world. From where he was still here. He showed me a lot of things from gaming to being on my own to learning the craft of things. Because like I'm gonna tell you like it is, man. I'm gonna keep this real. If it wasn't, I would not have this studio if it wasn't for this man right here. It's just me. Because he showed me a lot, even though he didn't have this that he had then, but he was smart of computers, and he showed me how I'm gonna show you how to do this, and I'm gonna show you how to do this and this right here. I remember time he had one of them old computers, like I guess he was like one of those computers with the monitors, because we didn't have, now we got the flat screens. But even though he had a flat screen when he was still here with us, but he had one of those big giant computer monitors. They almost kind of looked like a Macintosh, but it was Windows. I think it was with Windows 95, I believe. I can't remember, or Windows 98. And he will go back and start doing a lot of things. And I remember he showed me different sites that he had that you can listen to. I think it was called Retro Junk. I don't know if the site's still there or not, where you can look at old school commercials, old school cartoons, like previews, not the whole actually cartoon, but it showed just the parts like old school toys, the commercials we used to watch back when NBC and ABC and Fox, these old school stuff that they used to show, that we used to remember, that we used to learn the musics and everything going on. That was really cool. But when he showed me everything about computers and stuff, there were certain things I didn't know. This man showed me how to put one together, how to do what you need to do the software, how to learn to do the software. It was him that showed me everything. I would have never known this stuff by myself, never. And if I did, I learned half of the stuff by myself. But because I didn't have no one to teach me, like, oh, you can do this. Because if you do try to tell them, they don't want to show you. You just have to kind of learn on your own. And then there was times if I learn it, I will give it to you guys, and then I'll show you. Because like I say, I don't want to be stuck up in anything to be like, okay, this is what you know. Because you look at tutorials these days, you're like, okay, video's done. They don't tell you briefly. Because I know there was a couple of my videos I used to talk about a lot of things, how to do, and I would just show you to you step by step, and I go back with it. I don't just do and I'm done. I will go this one. It's like a typewriter. When you type it in, when you type and you take that thing and you type back in. That's the way I was doing it. With him, same thing. He would do the same thing to me, and he'd be like, I want you to go ahead and do this right, and you can do this, and you can be better at what you're doing. And like I say, man, I still miss his tradition to this day. A lot of things that he did for me was one of the bestest things ever, bar none. I love him to this day. He's one of my favorite, best cousins in the world. And like I say, I got his brother. His brother is one of the bestest ones out there too, because me and him used to go to elementary school together. Between the whole, me and the clique, me, Bubba Basie, we was all going to elementary school together. And we was those three cats, we was all there between kindergarten all the way up to 5th. Then after we went to middle school, we kind of went on our separate ways. But I think my cousin Courtney, now I think he must have went to South Doyle Middle with me. I can't remember sure if he was or not. But then Bubba Beasy went on to another different school, and then so we just pretty much just kind of separated. And then Brian was still doing his thing, because I remember I was still a little youngster, still a little kid, and he was still in high school. I think he was about to be done in high school, and then he went to school and did a little college. He went to college and then he started doing certain things. But like I say, man, this dude was smart, man. You couldn't touch him. I mean, he was too smart, man. And I always say, man, I want to be like him. I want to do stuff what he does, and I did that, like I say. And to this day, I'm still learning now. Like I say, I'm not no smart to that, because like I say, I'm still learning. There's a lot of stuff I don't even know, and I'm still learning to this day. I learn every day. But yeah, man, this video is just my little tradition with him. Just like I say again on my previous videos, that we still got more games. We're gonna treasure this man. I got tons of it. Some games that me and him used to play together, games I used to watch him play solo, and see how he does it. And I got tons of games that we're gonna spit. And with this platform right here, and we're still not done with it yet. So like I say, I'm still going to continue to do his videos. There's a couple of videos I might do for streaming. I might stream some games, like you got your Resident Evil 2, Silent Hill, games that we used to play, or games I used to watch him, or the Castlevania 64, because I'm definitely going to beat that part. I'm going to get to that part soon. Like I say, I might do a little practicing, but we'll get to that soon. But yeah, man, I mean, like I say, I still miss him, and like I say, happy late birthday to him. Like I said, I just miss him. I just miss pick up the phone and just call him and just say, hey, happy birthday, cousin, and because usually he'll do something with his wife, and then some, like, he'll go out and do stuff, and but it's like I was talking to my best friend Juan, it's not the same like it used to be, man. I mean, it's not the same. It's just you used to we can just laugh and talk and joke around, and man, it'd be so much fun to do that stuff. But like I say, it's really not the same anymore. And I know when people lose their loved ones, it's like that. It's not the same the way it used to be. It used to be you can wake up and just remember the old schools that you used to do, to live with, to do things that you do to your loved ones and stuff that you miss so much. And like I say, and yes, it does get hard, and you're still grieving, and I'm still grieving to this day. I've never heard nobody can never stop grieving. Grieving is going to be with you until the day you're gone. And I'm grieving with this much with him too, because he left us too soon, man. He left us too soon. And like I say, there was a lot more I wish that he would still be here. I just wish that he was still here to see the brand new studios, to see our new house, and see my new fiance and my daughter and everything, man. And he'll probably be proud of me as much as anything that I have accomplished, because I have accomplished a lot of things in my life with him. And then, like I say, with his spirit will always remains. Spirit is always going to live on. It's never going to perish. It's never going to live. His spirit is going to live on. Like I say, he's probably watching me right now, me doing this video and talking about him, to share this video to you about him. And that's just what I'm here for in my platform, because this is family wise. This is my favorite best friend in the whole wide world. And like I say, and we're not done with this, because like I say, I got more games to spit, old school games I'm gonna start playing, because like I say, I did a couple of games I did in my previous videos, and then I kind of stopped, and then at the time I was just doing regular stuff. But now I am about to get back at it. This is going to be chapter 2 of the videos that I'm gonna do to the games that me and him used to play together. So we're just gonna kick back, relax, and if y'all RP35 sites will remember the games, leave some comments for your boy. What games that that games I used to play with him. You can remember, go back in time. Like I say, I'm gonna try my best to play some of these games. Some games may be hard. I may get frustrated, but oh well, that's just the way it is, in the gaming world. And like I say, there's a lot of games I'm gonna put out there for my platform, and hopefully real soon. And I'm definitely hope y'all enjoy those old school games once I keep going. I still do my regulars. I still do my streaming, but I will go back and start doing more games with him to dedicate Brian Wesley Winton and to fulfill his legacy as everything continue to go on and on. All right, this is your boy RP35 signing out of here. Y'all take care, and y'all have a very, very blessed day. Peace.